back, everybody. Will Worsham joins us now for this week's Speaking Legal Discussion, where he answers a viewer's legal question on the air. Welcome, Will.
Thanks.
Hello. You look nice.
Yeah.
Bright blue shirt.
Thanks.
Ready to go for the New Year. All right, tomorrow, of course, New Year's Eve. Many people like to celebrate with a little drinking at the New Year's Eve parties. As an attorney, does your phone ring with people say, oh, I made a huge mistake? Will, what do I do? What do you tell them?
Yeah, well, it happens all the time. It happens
all the time anyway,
all year long. And, of course, we do a lot of DWI defense at my firm. That's kind of how I started. That's kind of what I've been doing for 20 years almost now. So we get a lot of that. And do we get a spike at the beginning of the year? Yeah, we really kind of do. You know, anytime there's a reason for people to celebrate, a lot of times alcohol is going to be involved. And occasionally it gets away from folks and they make a bad decision. And a lot of times that may result from just a failure to plan, make a good plan. And so the first thing we always tell people is if you're planning on drinking, you need to have a plan for how you're going to get home.
Yes.
And one of the worst decisions that people oftentimes make is they make a decision to drive to where they're going to drink. And then because then they have the option to drive away from there.
And you're not thinking very clearly.
That's exactly right.
Or they think they might not have. I'm just going to have one, and then they get to celebrating and they have more than they think they're
Yeah,
gonna
so I
have.
guess what you're getting at is if you don't drive yourself there and have a vehicle at your disposal, then you won't drive it home.
That's
Hey,
right.
maybe I could start my own business where I could just pick people up and take them home.
Well, you know,
And there are places who do that.
There are
Thank
several.
goodness.
Substitute Drivers is one here in town that does that, and then there's some others that have started as well, to where you can call, but the thing is you have to call. And a lot of times if you're making that decision after you've had too much to drink, you're going to make the wrong decision. That's what alcohol does, is it makes you make the wrong decision. And, you know, realistically, the other thing that I kind of wanted to bring up today is there's a lot of bad information about alcohol and how much you can drink, and if you drink so much per hour, then you're going to be okay or not okay. And a lot of that, especially when applied to people across the population, is just really kind of wrong information. I mean, I'll have a lot of people that'll come to me because they've gotten a DWI, and they'll say, well, I was really careful. I just had like one drink an hour. That was all I had. And they think because they've been told if you drink one an hour, then you're going to be okay.
Isn't everyone different, too?
Everybody's different.
And how much food you've had.
And that's another thing. Food has a slight effect, but a lot of times what people think about food is wrong. I've gotten the impression over the years in representing people that a lot of people think that, well, if I've eaten, that absorbs the alcohol so it doesn't get in my bloodstream.
Right.
And that's just not true.
Right.
It's still going to get in your bloodstream. It's still going to cause intoxication. The only thing food is going to do is maybe slow down a little bit the way that your body's going to absorb the alcohol. So if you were to have, say, a shot of vodka, which is a fairly strong drink.
A lot. Sure.
Right? On an empty stomach, there's nothing that's going to stop that alcohol from getting in your bloodstream fairly rapidly. Whereas if you were to have already eaten a meal, then it's going to take it a little bit longer. But the point is, it's still going to get in your bloodstream. It's still going to raise your blood alcohol content. It's still going to cause a problem if there's too much alcohol in your blood.
What about coffee? Is that a misnomer? Does that do anything?
It doesn't change your blood alcohol content. And see, that's the thing. This is very simple, basically biochemistry or maybe even math. Your blood alcohol content is a volume calculation. It is what percentage of your blood is alcohol at any given time. So drinking coffee doesn't really change that.
It may wake you up a little bit.
It may wake you up. It may make you feel more alert, which actually could be a problem because it may make you feel better. But it's certainly not going to make you more sober.
Right.
It's certainly not going to make you a better driver.
So plan ahead before you go out. And, you know, Uber, the company that's sort of like a taxi, you know, you let them know. They were offering gift cards for, if you have a party, you could offer your guests. I don't know if you're here that day, but Uber will offer everybody a ride home. You could always call ahead and get yourself a cab. Yeah, there's something called a taxi.
That's a great idea.
And you can call ahead and do that. But it's like you say, if you take your car, you're more tempted to drive it home, which is probably just a bad way to start.
Bad way to start.
Yeah, so anyway, be smart. It's New Year's Eve, and no matter what you spend on that cab is going to be nothing like you would spend on an attorney. No offense, but I think you would agree.
I would agree. The cab's much cheaper than I am, but if you get in that situation,
you need some good advice. You're going to need some advice. All right. If you have a legal question for Will, email him at wworsham@color10.com. He will answer your question on the show. Will, Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
You too.
All right. Thanks.
All right.